Hi, I'm Steven, and I make fonts as Aerotype. I've been pretty busy lately, which is a nice problem to have. I've put out Name Mono 0.1 and Lang Gothic 0.1 on future fonts. To be honest, Lang Gothic was something I had done most of the design for like over a year ago based on the design of Lang, which is a semi-slab serif that you can find on my website and on future fonts. I was waiting to finish up like a solid version one of my project named Sans before putting anything more into the pipeline on future fonts. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of finally share some things newly again. Um, Name Mono also, as this video series that I've been doing has shown, is a monospace font based on Name Sans. And yeah, that's been really fun to make as well. In this video, I'm actually going to do a little bit of work on Name Mono for 0.2, which, spoiler alert, is coming really soon, just next week actually. And that should appear on my website, in which case I'll give a promo code in an email I send out about the update. So if you want to get it before the price jumps, get it now on future fonts. Or if you're really interested in getting individual styles, sign up for my newsletter and you can get it on my website. So either works great for me, and you'll get free updates in the future either way. So it's really just whatever you want to do. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Name Mono on future fonts yet, I totally recommend you do it. I'll try to stick a link in the description below, but I'm really happy with where it is so far. Because it started from Name Sans, it's pretty far along for a typeface. Like it has a pretty large character set that supports a bunch of languages right out of the box. And I will expand that further, but yeah, I think it's a really nice first start. I've been using it in code and really enjoying it. There are a couple of things I want to do though that are a little different. I know that a lot of people like, actually, I should add these in. A lot of people like alternates for especially I and L that don't have these bottom serifs. Also, probably F and R. Um, and that's the main thing I want to just record doing kind of quickly as like kind of a workflow streamy kind of session. Um, and I'm trying to keep this quick, so I probably will do the FR on my own. I don't know. We'll see how it's feeling. So, yeah, I'll do that for the italics as well. But um, I guess I should also give a couple of notes on kind of what happened between the last video and this video. I set up the whole build flow uh, with FontMake in my code environment, and I'm not going to show that really. I've like tried to talk through that on video, but it's just hard to explain code in a way that's like useful to a broad audience in my view, because like I'm sure there are people out there who are like way better than me, and maybe I worry about being judged or something. I don't know. And then I think there's a lot of people who would really benefit from a much more step by step view of what's happening. And I've released a couple of those sorts of videos, especially for like typographics demos in the past. Um, yeah, it just takes a lot more thought, basically. So it's a lot harder. I've had some false starts. I just wanted to put something out there. And I think probably if you're watching this, you probably enjoy seeing some drawing process. So yeah, that's what I'll do for now. Um, Let me know in the comments if you would appreciate more technical stuff, and I'll probably do that in the future. Uh, I have the window open because our heaters are pretty intense right now, because it's winter in New York. You know what? I'm seeing an issue already that the anchors are not where I want them to be. So I'm going to correct that. Um, Partial problem, I guess, of, well, they're where I want them to be in the dotless eye, but yeah. Okay. Let me check how they're, okay. They could also stand to move in this guy. I honestly don't think necessarily this should have a top anchor. I don't know. I'll look into that more. Okay, so what we need to do to make our stylistic set for these is duplicate the I dotless, and then we've got a bunch of I's pre-composed from the I dotless and combining accents. So I'll basically be doing that again, but with I dot SSO1 or something of this sort. I guess I'm already using SSO1 for single story A, SSO3 for single story G. Yes, I'm trying to match these to the name sans stylistic sets. I sort of. I don't know. I'm clearly not, because actually in name sans, this is like different punctuation. SSO2 is kind of the square-sided caps. So yeah, to be honest, I'm slightly, I bet the answer is that there's an italic font with SSO2. Okay, yes, that makes more sense. SSO2 allows you to activate a double story A in the italic, and I want them to not overlap, so that if you set SSO2 and you're using the fonts together, like on a website or something, you'll have the double story A in the italics, but that won't kind of like switch something around in the uprights. So yes, that is all to say, let's plan simple I for stylistic set 4, simple L for stylistic set 5. All right, so what is the best way? I'll start by trying to copy this. I want to make sure I'm in this. I did Command D there, SSO4, I think I said. And then let's delete that, chuck this in. You know what? I'm going to copy this to the background. Command B to get back there. And then there. Okay. And putting that in the background just kind of gives me the ability to see easily that I'm matching what was there before, so it doesn't change around too much. I think I should also match the slope in this style. And I guess the decision here, one decision, of course, there's innumerable decisions, but one decision is whether to keep a square turn at the top, and I think I probably will. And I'll make that a little longer so that it kind of balances out the spacing. I guess I should have mentioned this right off the bat, but the spacing of a mono, obviously, since you can't control the side bearings, you have to rely on whatever you draw in the glyph itself. And that's why it's common for monospace fonts to have these big serifs on I and L and things. Because basically, as you can imagine, if you have a word like resilient, yeah, that's actually a really good example, because these kind of help fill the space, and without them, you'd have just like huge white spaces in the middle of your words, and it could potentially look ambiguously like a word space when you don't want there to be a word space represented, and it just kind of like breaks up the reading flow. So, but the argument for having something like this is that, well, this is a dotless I. Let's make the actual I.SSO4. While we're at this, though, no, let's do it in the bold. Basically, just to complete my thought, this is less ambiguous when you see it in code. It's like you could potentially confuse this form with the 1, and I've made an effort to, make sure the 1 has a very distinct shape from the L. But if you just see this in isolation, like maybe you've got a git commit hash or something, and you only see the L by itself. Maybe you would like imagine that could be this is just a random 7 character string. But yeah, you could see this, and at a glance, you might think that was a 1. So yeah, that's the argument for an alternate form of L. Let's make this. Let's see here. Not what I wanted to paste. Let's grab it again. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing that the T is just slightly more compact there. I probably want to make it the same, I think. Could probably go either way, honestly, but why not? We'll see how this looks to make it the same. And then let's put that there. Why did it scroll down? It's a weird thing on Macs. Sometimes, and I've noticed this between a lot of different apps. Like, I think it happens on RoboFont as well. I think it even happens in some apps like Illustrator or Sketch or whatever. Basically, if there's a big canvas, sometimes you scroll around without hitting the scroll wheel. It just like jumps you to a different place. I don't know. I've never programmed an application like that, so I'm sure it's not easy to get things totally flawless. I've certainly never programmed anything remotely close to an OS. I'm sure that is obviously exponentially harder as well. All right. I'm just trying to, I didn't realize this until just the other day, kind of by accident, but there's this string of glyphs on the bottom of glyphs that you get to from the eyeball. And, well, apparently not right now. That's funny. Usually you can like click and drag this, but maybe it's only if you have a certain length of it or something. Don't actually get it. All right. Well, I thought that was a hot tip, but apparently not. I think it usually does work, to be honest. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just trying to make sure that this looks roughly in the middle. I'm sure that will slightly depend on the size. I think it's fine. We'll kind of adjust as we go. But basically, now that we have this, I can also make the L. I'm going to give it a suffix SSO5 so they could be independently controlled. I'm going to pop this there, get that one in the background. Rather than putting this in the background, something I love about glyphs is that you can put a component in the background and then you still see the outline. So that's just super handy. Because when I update the original glyph, like here, let's do something silly. You can see it updates there. Okay. It's hard to say whether the I and L should exactly match with side bearings. When it's in this form, at least, the I has more material kind of around the X height, so that kind of removes the need, perhaps, for this to... Oh, well, it's only 2 units off as well. I don't know. I think it should probably match down here. Okay, so... Nice. We'll go with that for a second, and then let's do the extra bold or black master, whatever. What is it? Black. Okay. And we've got SSO5. Cool. All right. Nice. And to test these, we can add glyphs, and let's add i.sso4. And glyphs is kind of smart with when you're adding glyphs. You can give it a recipe if you need something specific, but a lot of the time it will just kind of work as long as you've got like the i.list set up with anchors and you add i.sso4. It'll just kind of build this one. So what we can do is I want to copy all of these I variations. Darn it. Okay, let's try that again. I don't want the ij because that can't really change. One per line. I right-clicked, copy glyph names one per line, and then let's add a new tab here. Oh, perfect. So Command Shift G is add glyphs. We're gonna add all of these. Oh, but we're gonna call them SSO4. Let's quickly do this. Okay. It's just kind of a slightly faster way when you can use multiple cursors in VS Code by going up with Command Option and arrow keys. Hey, okay, we're most of the way there, honestly. The iHook did not work. I guess it's like a Vietnamese character, so glyphs maybe doesn't have quite the logic we need in there. But that's okay because what we can do is use a glyph recipe. So hook above comb is the glyph we want there. I think I can copy that name. Okay, so let's delete this iHook SSO4 and try adding it again. So hook above comb plus i.list SSO4 equals I hook.sso4. I think this is what we want. I'll copy it so I can edit it if. All right, that is what we wanted. Cool. So pretty nice actually in this view. You can see kind of a multiple lines showing how it's working. I do notice that my OGNX is just slightly off, so let's see if we can change that. One unit off, and in glyphs we can actually put this in the middle. It's fine. Okay. Here it's 2 off, so let's go ahead and fix this. Cool. All right, so that looks better. And let's kind of repeat this for the L. Where are we at? So we want these one per line. To be honest, some of these are probably not actually composed. Like this is actually just an outline, so is a slash. So we can only really make Elacute and Elcidia. Well, we can make all of them and then just fix things. So I think it's SSO5. Let's see what happens. Cool. So it's kind of close. This is really far, actually. We don't want that at all because that is the wrong shape. But it's understandable that maybe that would be the logic that results. And then we also want, we want a component over here, and then we'll just copy the slash directly. Cool. Now, I'm not 100% positive that this is the best way to do the L cairn and the L slash. It works. I should probably reevaluate at some point and figure out a slightly better system where I use components like a slash component. This kind of feels like it needs to come in just a little bit. I don't know how far though. Like it could be all the way over here. Maybe I'll do it here. Like I want it to be visually under this, but also somewhat in the middle. Bit of a hard choice. Here it's a lot more obvious. Okay, so then how are things looking up here? Okay. Let's copy our Karen into here. And by the way, this like Karen above the letters is like an actual thing. So like a Karen has this sort of a Karen, but this is for Czech, I think, and other Central European languages that use that style of Karen for like the D, the T, the L, maybe the N. I don't know. Offhand. Okay, so that, and we want this. Probably need to make, okay, cool. I just needed to paste the /2. And all right, so we're previewing the semi-bold instance. So this is nice to see. All of these appear to be interpolating without issue. That also looks like it's working here in the eye. So yeah, I'll do this in the italics next, but maybe I'll just straight up build and check that it's working as expected in the Romans or the uprights. Glyphs is also relatively smart about adding features, so that's kind of cool. If you just like add this suffix onto glyphs and it's a simple feature, then you can just add it and it kind of works as you expect it to. It's always good to give things a feature name. So what do we do? Oh no, I don't know what to call this. Maybe just disambiguated I. Is that how we spelled disambiguated? Maybe I'll say high legibility because that's probably a simpler name anyway. Okay. And yeah, so let's check if this is building. So I'm going to activate my virtual environment. And I think I just do, let me adjust the name file. We're on version 0.2, make all. I don't think I've split it up because it's such a simple build. Yeah, sometimes I will do like make VF for making just the variable font to start to test things, but that's more where in a project like NameSands, the files are pretty big and take a few minutes to compile. And it does take a minute to compile still because it's a lot of glyphs and a good amount of data to put together. It's making a variable font and static fonts and trial fonts. But yeah, right now we have our test already. So let's see. All right. Looking pretty good. And what am I thinking? I should probably also copy all of these characters and see I dot accent. Oh, isn't that just the I? Oh no, it's the like I. Oh no, I dot accent is there because I think it helps allow Turkish for when Turkish is going. Sometimes there's a I without a dot used in actual words. Cool. So we see that going. And let's also copy these in just to be sure. Cool. These have exported. Nice. Great. Looking good. Okay. Let's repeat it for the italics. It's pretty quick, so I might as well do it in the same video. And stick around if you feel like it. Okay, so let's see how fast I can do it. I really do need to figure that out a little better, but oh well, I'll get there. Okay, basically I just want to lop off this leg. So wait, let's make sure we give it the same stylistic set name. I'll copy this into the background. Let's chop off the leg. So violent sounding. I hit return to make this a straight line. I'm just gonna delete this, I think. I'll bring this down. And then I'll balance these so the handles look decent. I could also probably just take the same strategy here. Yeah, I think I might as well do that. Option delete to open up that path. Oh, that's interesting. I should check the T again because it... Oh, the I potentially has a slightly different slope because sometimes in an italic you want a slightly different slope. And actually probably especially for these simple zigzags, I'll give it a little bit of extra slope just to kind of subtly take up a little more space. But let's try to balance it slightly better here. If you do Command A twice, you can get the anchors selected as well. Yeah, it's approximately good, I think. I'm sure we'll adjust things a little further. Yeah, that is kind of the main question here, whether I kind of like slope this forward more or not, and by how much. I'll start with something pretty subtle, just like literally just that. Oh, I do not want this in the default L. I want it in a secondary L. All right. No. This one, I think? Okay. No, what have I done? L. Oh, weird. I think I changed the font. What? I think I might have accidentally hit like Command D a few times, which is funny. All right, let's clean that up before we go too far. So L, SSO5, O1, O2, O3. All right, we don't want these. Okay. Little typo there. Nice to just clean up before we get too far away from it. Okay. Yeah, let's see how this is going now. Yeah, see here, like, there really is a bunch of space opened up. Like a disconcerting amount of space opened up below it, but that's just kind of monospace fonts, and that's the trade-off. So if people prefer this form, I think they'll still prefer it. And honestly, I think I was using this kind of a form in recursive earlier, so I'll probably go back to it as well. It's just nice to not have to spend literally any milliseconds debating, is that a 1 or an L? Okay, SSO4. Let's copy this guy again. And let's copy that to the background. What's the best way? What is in the background? Okay. Maybe what I can do is like, nope, that's too much. Okay, that's what I want. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty decent. And if we have show master compatibility on, you can see that there's all these crisscrossing lines. So I hit Command Shift R to kind of set start points in the app. And then usually it can figure out the logic for a consistent point order so long as you've got a consistent number of points. And they have to kind of wind in the same directions, and that should be counterclockwise for the exterior shapes, and they need to be in the same order for things to interpolate. And we can also look at our intermediates to see this is interpolating so far, this I.list SSO4, but the L is not yet because we haven't yet made it. So Command 2 to get over there. Let's copy just this. And you kind of can double click usually. Why is it? Usually you can double click near a shape to select the whole shape, and maybe that doesn't work quite as you want, quite as I want at least, in the background layer. I don't know if there's like multiple shapes back there. Very strange. Okay. Let's sort the start points. Cool, that is working. And let's move this slightly over to close up that white space just a bit. And by the way, we don't want it to be, okay, so we still just basically want some gap here if it's coming after a capital. I will probably shift that around a little bit. I don't know. All right, let's add our eye glyphs. I think I can search. No, apparently not easily. All right, we'll start with the L glyphs. Okay, yep. And let's just see, what was the first I? I acute, I think. So I should be able to search that in here. Here we go. And instead of I hook, we want this recipe. Okay. All right. So we're cooking. That is the totally wrong organic placement. Let's fix that. You know, this goes so much further out. Let's probably keep that similar. Okay. And let's copy over our Karen and our L stroke, I think. Slash L slash. Not that Karen, this one. And then okay, so pretty solid. All right. Let's set up those stylistic sets in here as well. I wonder, I may be able to just copy and paste from these stylistic sets. Let's test that out. Glyphs is kind of good at copying and pasting between different font info windows. Yep, it worked. Cool. And that's just nice because it also copies the feature name. All right, so I think that probably worked. These all look, I'm just trying to, do a sanity check before I run a build, but that looks pretty good to me. So let's run a build and see if it's working. So I want to make clean and make all, please. So that just clears away the old v0.2 folders and starts building them again. Dang. All right, so we did have, oh, I apparently hadn't built the i.sso4 just yet. I think I must have done that on its own. That's funny. Okay. Try it again. I could like write a song. All right. Wait, that looked like, yeah, it updated in our, well, almost. Haha. Oh, reload font. Yes. All right. Haha. So now it's working really nicely in the upright and the italic. And we have our, yeah, accented pre-composed accents as well. Right. I mean, I like these forms. I think they make sense where they're kind of like sharp in the upright top and kind of just a double swoop in the italics. It just kind of matches the theme of the rest of the family. So I'll see. I'll probably end up doing that for the F and the R as well, just to be complete. Yeah. But coming along. If you want to support my work or try this typeface out, please head over to Future Fonts and pick up a copy. Or stay tuned for the quickly upcoming release of version 0.2 of this. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment if you have any questions or I don't know, to give my engagement a boost in the old algorithm if you want. All right. Hope you're having a good day. If you're working on something creative, I hope it's going awesome. And you know what? If you're working on something not creative, analytical, if you're working on your taxes or studying finances, I hope that's going awesome as well. So thanks so much for watching and take care.